All right, what is going on, guys, gals? What is up? Okay, so see if my daughter would have heard that song, she would have busted in and started jigging on camera, and I can't. It's Thanksgiving break, guys, so like kids are wild. Like she would have heard that beat, she would have busted in like the Kool-Aid Man and started going, oh yeah, oh yeah. So it's funny. You guys were like, what is taking so long? I'm like, guys, it is Thanksgiving break. No babysitters. Me and my wife are working, trying to do stuff, and it's just it's mayhem. It's chaos, So if you have kids, you understand, you know the drill. But God bless them. They're the best. But they will run you. They'll just run you the whole time. so it's funny. But welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Happy, what day is it? Man, we lose track of days. What day is it? It's Wednesday. And we hope you guys are feeling well. You're doing good. Bitcoin had a really nice recovery. And so we're looking at that. We're going to see what altcoins are now performing well and actually pumping up on this recovery. We have Ethereum doing really well. Just want to make sure does everything sound good? Everything look good? I just want to make sure all of I think, YouTube says excellent connection. Okay, I think we're looking good. I want to make sure everything's good because sometimes we'll just have like a random dropout. So we just want to make sure we're good. We don't end up creating 7 new different streams and everyone gets redirected. So let's pray to the YouTube gods that the connection is good and solid. All right, I think we're good. But guys, what you can do is smash up the like button. That would help. Right now, you guys did really well. We almost got up to 10 likes. So the more likes that we get, the more bullish I get, the more excited we get, the more people come in here, the more that we get what is the normies in the retail and just new investors that are very interested in the crypto space. So we want to provide a daily live stream that they can come into every single week to get a little bit of the news, to get a little bit of the scoop, to get a little bit of what our thesis is, and to not copy or do anything that we do, but to take the information and then go down the rabbit hole and then create their own type of plan and strategy to ultimately get exposure in this new market that is now maturing into institutional adoption. And that's what we're going to get into and talk about today. And so if you're down for that, make sure you're hitting the like button and sharing this with your friends, and we can get this community built up super strong. And right now, it's great. You guys are awesome. You've been coming in these live streams and coming to these live streams every single day. And I really appreciate you guys. And this wouldn't be a show without you. So I want to thank you and give you guys some of the credit, because you guys coming in and interacting and just chatting amongst yourselves and then keeping me on my toes is how this show keeps on moving. So let's get into some of the news that's breaking. We have MicroStrategies added 55,500 BTC to the portfolio. So if you were to track the Michael Saylor tracker, his holdings now are at a total of $37 billion. So this is just reinforcing their position as one of the largest institutional Bitcoin holders. And so then we also have the Ripple settlement completely, rumors that the Ripple settlement with XRP and the SEC is going to be settled. And so with Gary Gensler resigning on January 20th next year, this is going to, I think, possibly, a lot of people are speculating that XRP is going to have this bullish run, and we'll see what happens. XRP, price set for a breakout amid these parallels to possible 2017 epic rally, and this was the last time that we had XRP going almost close to $3. I think it peaked out at like two something, and we'll look at the chart. And it is one of the altcoins that we have on the list right now that we're going to watch, because it actually could perform better than some of the altcoins in terms of its from now to the peak of the cycle, because a lot of these altcoins against Bitcoin are going to perform well in the altcoin season, obviously, And then there's going to be a rotation back into Bitcoin, and I think that's when we're going to see how Bitcoin is going to be able to survive these bear markets that we end up coming into, and how we're going to have like a pivot, and what's actually going to be a good one to hold through the run to then ultimately just get more Bitcoin. And so could XRP be one of those things? I don't know. We will see. But there's other things like Stellar Lumens. You know, Stellar Lumens has actually gained over the month 400%. Stellar Lumens has went up over 400%. So it's targeting $1 right now. And I don't know, did it already get to $1, the Stellar Lumens chart? Because man, it just started to go crazy. And so let's look at Stellar Lumens right now. I'll show you right now on danocrypto.com. Put the link in the description. Yeah, reminder, no shoes in the dojo. Yeah, listen, guys. Yeah, Lake Gray said no shoes in the dojo. And as long as you're wearing your Sproto socks, you're allowed in. You have to be wearing a pair of Sproto socks. See, and that's your entrance into the dojo. Okay, so right now, let's see where Stellar Lumens. Okay, 49 cents. So on the year, it had been beat down for so long. And so this is what is so interesting, I think, about the altcoins and what we can kind of look into, what we could bet on instead of, because the lower you go down the list, obviously the more risk, the more reward, but also the higher the risk, the higher the loss in terms of what you could potentially get over a longer span of time. Because when you're thinking about actually investing and being a little bit more of a long-term holder and having some more solid, I don't want to say guaranteed, because it's not, I don't like the word guaranteed in investing, because you're not guaranteed anything. I mean, the tides can change very quickly, and if you've been in these cycles, you know that that's like 100% true. The tides can just all of a sudden flip, and you're feeling like you're riding that wave, and all of a sudden it just like hits the sand. It like it just goes and just flips on your head, and you're just like get whitewashed, and you're like, whoa. And so I don't want to say guaranteed, but historically we have seen some of these things like Cardano, like Crow, I mean now Dogecoin, Algorand. It's kind of like these old cycle coins, Tezos, all of the DeFi tokens like Lido DAO and MakerDAO and Rocket Pool ETH and stuff. There's all of these different DeFi, Uniswap, and all of the different DEX protocol tokens that I think could be some of the safest bets going into this altcoin season. And so we're going to go over those. We're going to review those. We're going to look at some. We built just a small list, and we'll add to it. We used a website called CoinGoLive that's really fun to use, and it has also the percentages away from their all-time highs and how long ago they actually hit their all-time highs. And we can kind of use that as a metric to be like, okay, if we put some size and hold these coins into at least their all-time highs, that's still a really good, decent return for going into this bull run. And that's if you're holding a percentage of your portfolio in altcoins. But for me, I'm holding more Bitcoin than anything, and I have probably like it's split where I am like 50%, 40 to 50% Bitcoin, and then I'm like then 30% memes, to be honest. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm like 20-30% DeFi tokens and gaming tokens and some of these altcoins like AVAX, and so that's kind of how I've positioned my portfolio. I'm starting to want to accumulate more of things like Crow and even things like Cardano, but really it's kind of like I kind of went more heavy memes this time, and I went into the more strong, I think, fundamental memes that I think are going to do really well yours could be different. I'm choosing like Pepe, Ponky, Pei for the Chinese narrative. Like there's not very many Pepe derivatives that do well. There's like a Poo and that's, Pepe, a Poo, and that's it. Any other Pepe derivative like pork or something like that has gotten smashed, has just done terrible. And so that's kind of why I end up betting on Pepe. And we've talked about, if you follow this channel, we've talked, Coinbase listed it, Robinhood's listed it. Robinhood's also bullish on memes. They listed dog with hat. Coinbase also listed dog with hat. So it's kind of like the success of Pepe, and Pepe's in a big bull flag right now, as well as Brett. We'll get into why Brett is one of our picks for the memes as well. And this is we're gonna tie this all together of why you should be potentially in old boomer coins of the last cycle and then combining them together with these memes of last year and the popular ones that released this year that have out of the dust settling. Then you can then kind of see where your opportunities are. Some people like S. Rodriguez is asking, what about Chill Guy? Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of popular Solana memes right now, like Chill Guy, and there's Peanut. I think right now, some of the more popular ones right now, honestly. And speaking of meme coins, Vitalik Buterin actually sold a big portion of his meme coins that were donated to his address, because people send Vitalik, meme coins like all the time. And so he sold a big portion of those and converted it into 22 ETH worth approximately $76,000 and donated 320 ETH valued at $1 million to Coin Center, a crypto advocacy organization. This move, it underscored his preference for using these tokens for philanthropic purposes rather than speculative gains. So which is interesting. And so and then also Popcat actually has some of the highest trading volume of any of the cat tokens right now, and that's a Solana-based meme coin. That's got actually really good trading volume, and Popcat's actually been on a lot of people's lists. These meme coin experts, and they're the narrative experts of crypto Twitter. They're speculating that Popcat could be one of the premier Solana cat coins. And the trading volume is showing pretty high, token metrics. And then there's also Book of Meme. This one's kind of like, it's also been talked about a lot too, you gotta just, I don't know. I can't buy them all. I don't have them all. I will talk about them, and I will be happy when certain things, I'm like, oh, that's great. That went up. Okay, cool. People are making money. I'm sweet. I don't want to ever really get upset, if people, like people that bought Peanut early, or people that bought, things like that. We'll probably, we'll joke around and we'll make jokes and be like, we missed the damn squirrel. But, ultimately, if you're positioned and you're willing to be patient, you really don't have to get so upset. You don't have to get so upset. Like, you could just be like, look, you could be as boring as, like, now as Brett has kind of solidified itself, as like the premier base token, base meme coin token in terms of trading volume and popularity, as base is unofficial mascot. I think Brett is like the unofficial mascot. And it's at a $1 billion market cap. And you could say, oh, that's too expensive. But if you are on the same thesis as me, and you think that the total market cap of crypto is going to be at a $40 trillion total market cap in the next few years, then $1 billion is like absolutely cheap and on a fire sale still. And so you could even think about that in terms of Bitcoin. And so let's tie all this together with like talking about the total market cap. And right now, it's following our patterns pretty well, where we started to trade and break out of this bull flag pattern, also with the cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders, all combining together in the three most bullish patterns you could ever have on a chart for something to break out in a bull market. This is what's happening on the charts here. And so we actually had the pump with these really nice 3 weekly candles, and now we had the correction, which actually gave us the dump right here. And so we kind of overextended it. We said, look, we're going to trade up in this channel, and at some point we'll probably have a retracement, and then we're going to then start to pump up as, and this isn't the total market cap. Sorry, this is actually excluding BTC and Ethereum. So this is all of the altcoins, the meme coins, all this stuff, everything excluding BTC and ETH. And so this is actually now surpassing it, going towards a breaking its all-time highs at $1.1 trillion. I think this thing is going to go and shoot to $2.3 trillion. Then the total market cap, my target for that, in honestly a lot sooner than you guys think, is going to be at $7 trillion by the next couple months. It's going to be at $7 trillion by the next couple of months, because with Bitcoin getting into the territory of getting about almost close to a quarter of gold's market cap, then we could see Bitcoin at a $4 to $5 trillion market cap, and then Ethereum being at a $2 trillion market cap. Then we have BNB and Solana and Cardano having some of the highest market caps they've ever had, because it starts to get more institutional kind of bucket. It's buckets of water filling up. It's like Bitcoin is getting all the water right now. Okay. And then the water starts to flow out into Ethereum. Institutions start to learn a little bit more about Ethereum. And then that's the easier onboard from Bitcoin to go to then Ethereum. And that's why we're going to see Ethereum pump really hard. And then that's going to make every other speculative asset and something that is either delivering a product, has a solid blockchain, has applications and all these things in a vibrant ecosystem, or it has nothing and it's just a meme. And people just want to be a part of a type of community or a cultish type of thing, a guild, a clan, whatever it may be. Whatever's going to make them feel important and feel loved and make them money, then they're going to get into that thing. And so you could put all this together and just think, okay, I just got to be positioned in the market. It's just as simple as that. Like, you don't have to make it super complicated. You could just be positioned. Just be positioned in the market with a strategy and a plan, and kind of start to think about how you have your portfolio allocated. Do you have some gaming tokens? Do you have AI tokens? Do you have previous narrative tokens of DeFi? And do you have like metaverse tokens? I mean, you see how much these metaverse tokens like Mana and the Sandbox, stuff like that, has pumped hard. So it's really, really interesting. And you don't have to follow it all. You really don't. You don't have to follow it all. I mean, if you follow a few good narratives and add a few tokens with each, you end up with about 10 coins. And then if you have your fundamentals in there, you got like some Bitcoin, you have some exposure to Ethereum, you have a little Solana. And then if you look at the poll, we have a poll. Make sure you guys do the poll. We asked you guys, what tokens right here do you think are going to perform the best from now to the end of the cycle? And so that being Cardano, AVAX, or Solana. And so a lot of people actually picked Solana. So we had the runner-up was Cardano, and then we had less people saying AVAX. And I want to tell you guys what my pick is. I think AVAX is going to outperform Cardano and Solana. And because you can use Avalanche just like you would Sol or Cardano, but the difference with Avalanche is that I think there's going to be just more transaction throughput when it comes to the gaming, because we have that off-the-grid game that AVAX is basically the back-end transaction throughput for this game. And then you could also do all the DeFi. It's got Trader Joe. It has meme coins. It's got all the same stuff. And I think if we see this thing start to pump, this is why I think AVAX, for my pick, especially it's sitting at $42 right now, $42.91. And I want to see, what was the all-time high? What was the all-time high? It was $149. So let's see from here. I know. It sounds so boring, right? To start talking about AVAX and Cardano and all this stuff, but that's why. But no, we're gonna get to the red light district. We're gonna get to the degeneracy. We're gonna get to the memes. We're saving that to the end of the stream. We're saving that for the end of the stream. But I want to be cool to the people coming in that are new, so then they can start here. Because if I start off my stream talking about Harry Potter, Obama Sonic 10 Inu, and Pepe, they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? So I personally think these are great options for people that are thinking that, okay, Bitcoin's too expensive, blah, 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 or the ETH is too expensive. Well, AVAX just breaking all-time highs is a nice 251% move to the upside. Not to be like a super moon boy or anything, but I think AVAX has potential to smash that for sure. Like I think it could do a lot better. I think it could probably do like at least over 200. I mean, it could surpass over 200, and that makes it a 389% move to the upside or 400% move to the upside. And it's an easy one to accumulate at its price. It's like it's $42. I mean, it's cheap. It's really cheap right now. And so there's a basket of altcoins right now that are still cheap. They're really off of their all-time highs. And one of them, we've explained Phantom. Phantom finally went back into this purple range. We're like, look, guys, if it trades back in this purple range, like we're gonna just like start to really max bid long on Phantom. And we did max long, on Phantom. And we're happy that we're in that trade. We're going to keep this trade open as long as we can because Phantom this thing could go to $5. This thing could easily go to $5 and we'll just be scalping and re-entering and, trying to get as much as we can off the trade. And it's looking really good. Okay. So let's break off a little bit from the Bitcoin analysis and altcoin analysis right now, and make sure you guys are smashing up the like button. This is going to get more people in here. It is the currency of these live streams and these videos on YouTube. If you guys do not hit the like button, YouTube will just think that you guys do not like the videos. And I've also noticed that 35 to 40% of you guys that actually watch this channel and you enjoy watching the content, you actually watch it because the watch time hours show, but you're not hitting the subscribe button. And you're also not hitting the like button. And you're also not leaving comments in the comment section. So all of those things are metrics and currency of like, you guys, like, it's almost like that is your free currency given by the power of YouTube to interact with the content that you like. And then what it does is it gives me more metrics to then get more people onto this live stream and also in this community. And then we all get to basically shit post about crypto, talk about it, and and have fun. That's the plan. So you got to do it. You got to do it. All right, so let's get into the news. We're going to go to the news. All right, so HDX is always bullish on memes. They say, which meme coin will jump up next? What do you guys think? So what do you think is going to be the next meme coin to just jump, just to start to break new all-time highs? I'm curious. What do you guys think? All right, so I wanted to bring up, because this is bullish news as well. Jason Casper always posting some insightful thoughts. He said, time for gratitude because young Jason would love the life I'm living right now. With Thanksgiving around the corner, it's the perfect time to reflect on the many blessings in life. I'm grateful for my family, health, my farm, animals, and the community I've built doing what I love. I'm thankful that I have so many supporters and I get to have fun while I work too. I'm also thankful for the little things we often overlook, waking up each day, returning home safely, healthy body, and the beauty of nature. I'm thankful for my freedom and He says, I am thankful for existing. Life is full of gifts, big and small, and I thank God for them all. So I love that. Shout out to Jason Casper. Did we repost this already? We need to repost it. So yeah, if you're bullish on that, go and follow at Jason_Casper and repost that. All right, so we found something interesting because we're bullish on Wojak. One of the meme coins that we actually hold and we think is going to do really well is Wojak, because we think that we have this theory. We think that Pepe and Wojak have the same dev team. They're all friends. Like they kind of like they were like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take over the crypto space. We're going to start the meme cycle. We're going to really actually start the meme super cycle, and we're going to be the top memes in the entire world. And that was like their manifesto. And they were like, all right, you're going to go and you're going to go. We're going to take this most popular meme narrative. We're going to take this one and break. And so we've seen that Pepe kind of, took the center stage, but I think that Wojak might start to come up the ranks because Wojak is one of the most memed characters in and on the internet. We have Elon Musk post Wojak memes. He posts Pepe memes. Actually, I think Elon's favorite memes are the Wojak and Pepe memes. And then, of course, anything that has to do with like any medieval Roman kind of stuff, that's always funny. Those are always great. All right, so yeah, and then we saw this thing that they had a partnership with Ninja Squad. I don't know too much about Ninja Squad, but if you wanted to go down a rabbit hole of like, okay, I think they're like an NFT project and they might have a token. It's possible that they have a token, but we usually, if like we like a coin and then they're doing some kind of partnership with another coin, then we like to follow it just to keep on track with stuff. So do what you will with that. All right, make sure you guys are following me at DanoCrypto904 because we try to repost and let you guys know about anything that we think is bullish and that we think is important news to follow. And also we're reposting funny memes and things like that. And also, if you want to watch us live on X, you can as well. You can also watch on YouTube. You can watch on Twitch. So shout out to all the people that are watching on any of those platforms. Make sure you are leaving your comments and your thoughts below. Yeah. Zwimpy said, I sometimes dream that Elon will post about Ponky and Ponky goes to billions. It's possible. It could happen. It's been one of the most memed and posted monkeys in the crypto space. And I think Ponky, it being the most underrated, undervalued Solana meme coin, it's listed on all of the bullish exchanges. And I think pretty soon we're going to have a combo list of Ponky, and there was another coin that I was thinking that they were going to list at the same time as Ponky. It was like going to be a double listing. What was it? Do you guys remember? We were talking about it. I had this thought. I was like, Brett. That's what it was. I was like, they're going to list these two coins together, just like how they listed Pepe and Dog with Hat together on the same day. I think Coinbase might list Brett and Ponky at the same time. If you've kind of seen the breadcrumbs in the trail around on crypto Twitter, Ponky and Brett are like they're friends. They're not in like competition together. They're almost like the friends that like they love like competing together. They're very competitive, but they're willing to work alongside each other to build up the momentum into the meme coin space. And so I've kind of seen that. They're doing similar stuff. They're doing charity work. They're really trying to get that brand and the name out there. And that's the utility of a meme coin. Like get the brand out, get people to buy the token, work on the token. And with your resources, you do stuff to give back to the community. It makes people forever holders and also forever like brand ambassadors, just like how people just like when they wear their whatever it is, Nike, Adidas, whatever you want as your brand, Supreme, whatever it may be, and you're a walking billboard. And so these brands are really good at doing that. And I think that there's going to be this combo listing of Brett and Ponky. All right, so let's keep going down the news. We had Jim Cramer, obviously. He dumped the market. We're going to blame Jim Cramer. It was all his fault. We always have the inverse Cramer. He said Bitcoin's a winner, and then it dumped immediately right after that. But he started still just doubling down. He was like, no, I'm serious. Like, no, it's a winner. Like, just don't listen. He's like, listen to me, but don't listen to, I don't know. He's about to his head's about to pop, because at this point, it's like, I know it's a funny running joke that the inverse Cramer or the Pelosi, copy Pelosi method could work to make you the most successful trader and most bullish trader in the world, to make you millions if you just inverse Cramer and copy Pelosi. you'd be just doing amazing. All right, so this is all the kind of breaking bullish news for Bitcoin. Senator Loomis says President Trump is assembling an army to fight for Bitcoin. And she also explained on television that the way that they would actually build this Bitcoin reserve is not by using our cash to build the reserve. She said we would use these gold treasuries that the Federal Reserve actually holds in the 12 Federal Reserve banks that we have in the United States. And so I found that interesting. I was like, oh, so the Fed actually has been hedging against their own scheme with these gold treasuries. And they probably just like, they have some kind of backup plan. The Fed knows that what they're doing isn't obviously going to last forever, and they have to run it until it falls apart. And so that's why Jerome Powell, while asked in the after the press conference, says, "Hey, they're hold on just a second, guys. Hold on just a second. Be right back." Had to let my cats out. Had to let my animals out. Okay, so during the press conference, he was asked, would you actually step down if Trump asked you to? Basically, if Trump fired you, would you leave? And he said no. Jerome Powell said he was just like, no. He just very simply just said no. And so I think the Federal Reserve, they're very arrogant. They're very sure of themselves that the government can't do anything to remove them from the power that they have. And that's why I think Bitcoin is so important, and why you should start to learn about the system, learn about how the Federal Reserve prints money and then uses it against you to then tax you more. And if the government can just print money out of thin air, then why do we pay taxes? Why do we pay? If we're just going to let the debt just be just this imaginary thing and there's no consequence to it, but there is, then why do we pay taxes? Why are we paying taxes? El Salvador president actually asked that same question. He said, why, if you could print money out of thin air, why are we paying taxes? It's a good question. So when you start to think about these things, you start to get the matrix. You start to see the matrix code. You're like, oh, now I see it. Oh, okay, blonde, brunette, No, but I'm serious. But you start to see, false information here. Oh, they're trying to do this to me here. They're trying to make me go here. They're trying to make me think that this is the way I need to start. I need to go down. I need to get in more debt. I need to have a mortgage. I need to start to buy a bunch of stuff that I actually can't afford, but I'll just get psyoped into using that system and think that, oh, then when I'm 65, I'll retire. I'll get my Social Security. But then you start to see it. You start to see through the code. You start to see it as like, oh, it is a program that they're trying to run on you. And you have to basically look like this and be like, no. I gotta start installing my this program that I know is gonna see through that veil, and you'll be able to start to look at money in a completely different way. And things like the law of attraction, things like the abundance rule, all this stuff, energetic, as above, so below, what you put in, you're going to get out. Like, all those things actually start to play out and work and don't seem like such cliche things. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. But no, like, once you really start to then get focused on this stuff and lock in, all of those cliche things that you've heard probably for years and years and haven't really been able to believe it, this is how you'll start to actually believe it. Because it's very interesting when you start to kind of analyze how the system works, how money works. You start to then get your money working, and you start to get the money working for you, and you not working for the money. Because that's ultimately what the institutions have figured out how to do, is to make the money work for them, so then they can keep reinvesting and they can keep going off and literally never have to step in an office. They just make people do this, do that, and then they go and are able to have months and months and months off on the year. They might work a total of a month or two out of the year, and then that's it, because they have their money just working for them. But they don't teach the average person that. They don't teach them how to invest. They don't teach them how to not build up a bunch of debt before you're even 25 years old. Most people are building up over $100,000 in debt before they're even 30 years old, which is crazy. Crazy. All right, so then we got other bullish news. The Justin, former CFTC chair, says U.S. Bitcoin reserve makes a lot of sense. So the BTC is the world's first digital commodity. And so we also have bullish news that the Trump administration is going to have the CFTC be the one to have the regulatory body, like the governing body to regulate the cryptocurrency markets, is going to be by the CFTC, not by the SEC, because we've seen how the SEC has treated crypto, and it's basically stonewalled the industry in America. And now we're hopefully going to go through a healing process, and then we're going to see what happens. All right, so I'm more bullish on my call for this. So Vanek, CEO, predicts that Bitcoin will go to 150 to 180,000 this cycle. I think it's going to go to 150,000 by the end of the year. And then we're going to crash to 100K. Then we're going to go to $350,000. And that's going to be before March or April of next year. Reason we think that, we have a couple images that can support this. The Bitcoin halvings and the halving cycles. If you're new to the crypto space, this is like my second and a half cycle coming in to the crypto space. And I've now studied what has happened in the previous cycles. I've tried to go back a little bit even further, but before 2017, to see what happened. And I've gathered this data that historically we've had the biggest peaks 500 average days after the halving. And so what ends up happening is that we have the peak from the halving date is 500 and 520 average days that we see the peak of the cycle. And so that's been an average of 250 to 300 to 400% move from the bottom of the range and then going to the top. So from where we're at now, we still have a good amount of time to go before we start to hit at these crazy levels. We still have a little bit of time to go, and I think it's going to pull us into this area where we have the peak, and like a lot of people are going to probably sell really early. I mean, think of how long 3 months is for the average crypto mind. They don't like people that are crypto degenerates, like the CT community. They're just trying to bid memes right now, and they don't understand that like these institutions are going to flood the money first into the boomer coins, and this is how we're gonna pivot into what I would think about buying, like what I'm buying. I have some of these are in my list, and then these are things that I would, if I was like trying to build up a nice portfolio, diversified portfolio into some things that are a little bit lower market cap, but also some of them are a little higher market cap to build a strong, diversified portfolio. We're going to get into it. So here's coingolive.com. It's a nice one. If you sign up and make an account, you can start to build up your favorites list. And then when you go to the section of the all-time high or the price change history, so you can see kind of what it's been on the weekly, monthly, the yearly, you can see what's been outperforming things. And we've seen historically, like holding Bitcoin through the past 2 years would have outperformed us, even a lot of these altcoins, which is crazy. So you would have been accumulating Bitcoin this whole time, and then holding Bitcoin, it would have been your crypto savings account. And then at the same time, you've had all these alts that have been were beat down, and then you could have been DCAing into the altcoins this whole time, and then now still holding Bitcoin, and then seeing the exponential gains of what you had been doing is DCAing on these dips and these low points of the altcoins. And that's how people that have been buying Cardano and things like Phantom. Do we add Phantom on here? I thought we did, because we want to add Phantom on here as well. We'll have to go back and get it on there. But yeah, that's how you can do really well, because we saw, look, Cardano was at like 40 something cents not that long ago. And so it's done a 250 to 300% move to the upside since a lot of the bullish news. And it is one of the better tech coins, utility coins, and governance tokens, and all those things, chain, a better Ethereum, whatever you want to call it, and true proof of stake coin. So if you're cool with all that, and you're cool for holding for some potential, $5 ranges or $10 ranges, you have to be able to hold through the volatility to then see your 10x on Cardano. And so, but here's the list. We built a pretty decent list. If you want to stay for the rest of the live stream, we're going to break this down for the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to end the stream. Make sure you guys are smashing up the like button. Let me know if you guys are liking this, because we wanted to in the stream, and hopefully you guys stood and stayed here for the whole time, because this is actually the most important information that we can give in this live stream, is just to actually build a diversified portfolio that does have a spread of memes, but also you got to remember about some of these tokens that pumped really well in the last cycle, and they're probably going to do just as well this cycle. And some of them being this percentage away from their all-time highs means that they are at very cheap prices. So I'm going to go down this list of what I think is what I've been keeping up with, as some of these are new, and some of these are from the previous cycle, or new. I would say newish, and then some of them being newish to me going into maybe 2022, 2023, going through this cycle and kind of seeing what has been performing really well. And then we've been adding those to the list. So Ethereum, obvious, I think is going to perform well. I think ETH, people are trashing ETH. We've talked about how and why we pivoted a lot of our profits that we made trading and bought a whole Ethereum, because it's our safety hedge, risk off almost altcoin that I think the institutions are going to max bid long the next few years. And it could send ETH to 15, 20K. And I got an entry at 3,100 or 3K basically. That's a good return. And that's just for one ETH. So imagine if you've been stacking ETH and you get a couple ETH, that's how you can become a ETH whale. Like you end up becoming not like an ETH whale, but you end up making a good return on just having some stacked ETH. And then not to mention what you can do by staking it and all the different staking options and protocols like Aave and Lido DAO. That's how we're going to go into these different tokens. These are your opportunities where this is how you can make your money work for you, and you can have passive income inside of these ecosystems like Aave. You can get an ETH-backed collateral loan to then get USDT, to then use that USDT to then go into another pool, go into another LP liquidity pool. You can do all of this all inside DeFi without having going through like a third party or having to ask permission or whatever. You're just signing contracts. You're staking. You're earning passive income, and even just holding the Aave token or the Lido DAO token itself. These things are 222% off their all-time high, 314% off their all-time high for Lido DAO, and then it's just crazy. And so then the other things that I've kept on the list is Polygon. So Polygon is now rebranded to the POL token. So it's still Matic. It's still used as the gas fee for the Polygon chain. And so it's just called POL now. So I'm still super bullish on POL. It's actually only 125% off of its all-time high. And the fact that it actually only got to $1.29, it's pretty crazy. Like I think I thought it went a little higher than this. I thought it got almost to like past $2, but I guess this is correct. But I just remember that this was, I think Polygon Matic, the last cycle was the best performing altcoin out of every single altcoin. I think it did the most damage in terms of gains out of every single altcoin. So I would wager to bet that it could do maybe even if it just did half of the gains that it did in the previous cycle, it could do really well this cycle. And that's kind of what I'm betting on, similar with AVAX. I think AVAX kind of just started to blast and go to $150 really fast in the last altcoin run. And so we're betting on this to do probably a 350 to 400% move to the upside, with all of the bullishness of it being involved in. I think this thing is kind of omnied in the way that it's a chain. It's a side chain. It has its own ecosystem. It has DeFi. It's involved with crypto gaming, and there's just a lot that you can do on this chain. And so it's cheap. It can do super fast transactions to be able to keep up with gaming transactions. So it's something that I'm keeping on the list. And then now go down the list of the old metaverse tokens. So you got the Sandbox and you got the Decentraland. So look at how much people were bidding on the Sandbox and Decentraland last cycle. These things didn't even have much of a product, and people were throwing cash at these things. And look at how far they are off their all-time high. If it goes to its all-time high, 1,244% for the Sandbox. And then Mana is 861%. So it's like, if I was a betting man, I would have a little portions, maybe just a little bag of a metaverse, the metaverse tokens that people were max bidding the last cycle, to then possibly max bid these up again, and then go down the line of what you think would be the next ones that people pick of promising metaverse things, like maybe the ape chain, maybe the ape coin, All right, so then now go down the list and caveat this with metaverse, but with gaming, we have coins like the Ronin chain, Ronin has its own chain, but has its own coin, and it also has its own wallet. It's connected with the Mavis Hub that is incorporated with the Axie Infinity ecosystem. So there's literally, from you discovering Ronin chain and the Ronin coin, there's 7 other coins that you can then research into that would be involved in the Ronin chain. And so, because then when you go into the Ronin chain, you think, okay, well, who's using Ronin as their back-end infrastructure for gaming transactions? And it's games like Pixel, it's games like Axie Infinity, and there's a few more that have actually onboarded onto Ronin because of the fact of it just being a easy onboard process for gaming studios. And so then, speaking of the gaming studios and big games from the last cycle that actually went up an insane amount, people that bought Illuvium at certain prices and were able to cash out at any of these valuations of Illuvium being $1,900, absolutely insane. So it's like kind of like holding some of these tokens like Illuvium. It's like, I don't know if it's going to get back up to these prices, but man, even if it gets near them, that's a wicked return. And so that's why we added Illuvium as something to possibly keep on the radar, because it does have multiple games in the ecosystem. There's 3 to 4 games that are inside the Illuvium ecosystem, and there's NFTs involved in it. And so now we're going to go into one of the layer 2s that I think is really bullish that I discovered recently over the past year is Metis. Metis is a true layer 2 to Ethereum, and you use Metis as the gas fee whenever you add the network on your MetaMask. And there's a lot of opportunities to get into the applications and the dApps and the ecosystems. There's perpetuals, there's DEXs, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And if it gets to its all-time high, that's a 450% move to the upside. And so I think overall the sentiment in crypto Twitter is bullish on Metis. And a little bit of what is cool about Metis is that it's actually Vitalik's mom's project. So if that makes you bullish, then there you go. There's just some cool metrics to follow something like Metis. And then, I don't know, but I've always noticed that when the altcoins and the altcoin season starts to ramp up, I remember seeing Waves just doing well. Waves all the time would just start to pump out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? Waves just went up 230, 300%. And you're like, what the? And then it just starts to run. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that too, because there's some of these coins I remember, and Rose was the other one. Rose and Waves. I noticed both of these coins during altcoin seasons will rip. They just start to run. So, and these are very easily accessible coins, like Waves and Rose, I think are easily accessible altcoins that you can get into with their own type of thing going on. And I've just noticed sometimes it could be as easy as like, okay, what do I remember just ripping 30, 40, 50% on the daily, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this thing in a week just went up 350%. And so the magic of DCA starts to play in when you get into this altcoin season. And then to caveat another gaming token is Nakamoto Games. We've been following this one. This is kind of like an underdog in the gaming crypto space, but it's on a lot of high profile people's list, like Alex Becker, I think, is an advisor of Nakamoto Games. I think Carl Runefelt was an early investor in Nakamoto Games. I think Sam Price, also Crypto Lifer, he's mentioned, he's like, this is kind of like one of my crypto gaming tokens that he has in his bag. And so I've personally tested the ecosystem. I think it's fun. I think it could be something that people play a lot on the mobile device. And there's a lot of AAA game opportunities and a lot of things that are just all inside here. And there's the like NAKA Labs. So just a lot of stuff, I think, pretty bullish on NAKA. So that's kind of my low market cap pick for the crypto gaming space. If it goes near its all-time high, that from where it is now, that's a 450% move to the upside. So a lot of these, if you think even just building up a portfolio of your like fundamental base tokens, your top 10, like your top 10, 15, you got Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Doge, ADA, AVAX, Polygon, and then you go down the list and say, okay, I got one exposure to some DeFi, Aave, Lido, and then okay, Metaverse, Sand, Mana. All right, maybe some AI kind of stuff, Kosh, then and then go down the list of crypto gaming. Then you got Ronin, Illuvium, NAKA, and then just basically layer one, old cycle coins that just tend to just pull up along with altcoin seasons like Rose and Waves, and then the layer 2 narrative with the Metis. This is a solid portfolio. I mean, this is only this is like 15, 20 tokens. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, 18, 19 tokens right here. And it really, I mean, this could do some damage. I mean, if you were able, let's say hypothetical, you were able to get $1,000 into each of these coins. You just put $1,000 into each of them as just a hedge. Just be like, all right, I'm going to put $1,000 into each of them. And if at least two or three of these things do what they do, you could probably almost lose all the rest of the cash that you invested, and you would still make a profit. Everything else could go to zero. So that's kind of the, like, when you have a portfolio like this, you could say, all right, if even just 5 of these things do some damage, everything else could go to zero. And if you could get out alive by taking some profits and DCAing out when things are getting hot at a point where you are taking out your initial investment and then some, and then you're leaving it to speculation that maybe it could go a little bit higher, but if it goes to zero, you exited out, you protected yourself. And that's kind of, and we've explained this. Someone actually posted a really good comment and question, said, hey, like I'm brand new coming in the space. I need something that's just simple, brass tacks. Like, what do I do to kind of get started? Okay, so this is the easiest way you can get started. You just need 3 steps here. 3 steps, don't have to make it complicated. You need for step 1, you need to have a diversified portfolio. That means you're going to have some of the major coins in there as stable, as for stability. Then you're going to go down the list and start to risk the 30% and the 10% in all in things like what I just showed you. Like, this is my list. Your list could be a little bit different, but then that's how you're going to pick your altcoin strategy and your allocation strategy. And then you go, say 10%, I'm going to go memes. Then you take your 10% and you go into the memes. Because I didn't have very many memes in there. I just had Dogecoin. But Dogecoin, I'm just attributing it to basically like it's like its own champion of meme category. It's more than a meme now. So it's like that's like holding like a major coin at this point. So study this, figure out what you would like to go into. And then you need to have multiple exchanges and wallets set up. You need to have multiple wallets: MetaMask, Phantom, Coinbase, Flare, Trust Wallet. Robinhood even has a wallet now that you can like send in and out. Like you can have all kinds of different wallets, all different types of exchanges. The ones that we like to use are in the description below. And, full transparency, we get a kickback for that. So, I mean, if you'd like to support the channel, we don't have any paid groups or anything like that. We don't have any private Discords or Patreons or anything. So the best way that you can support the channel is by just using the links in the description. And what's great is that you get a bonus. So just set up all these exchanges, learn how to use them, make sure you know what networks are supported on these exchanges, know how to send from and to your exchanges and your wallets back and forth. So then when you are ready to make some moves, you know how to do so. So do that. Test out transactions too. Don't send thousands of dollars in one transaction unless you have tested it prior. Send a small amount first. Send like $5. Did you get it? Cool. All right, now I'm going to send $1,000. That's what I do. I mean, I've never like tried to just go like willy-nilly and start sending transactions of big money until I know that shit's going to work. So, and make sure you know how to do it. All right, so then the most important step in all of this is that you're going to need to have some diamond hands a little bit and hold. The only way that you are going to get a 10, 15, 20x that people talk about, it's not by going into the casino and chucking $1,000 into a meme coin, and then the next day or in the night you end up a millionaire. That is false. That is a fallacy. That is a trick of crypto Twitter to get your dopamine going and your FOMO going so then you go into a coin and then you're like, why is it not happening? Well, it's because of what I just said. You don't want to do that. Ultimately, what you want to do is have this a more long-term play. These altcoins, as boring as they might seem, are going to be the most stable profits that you can make. And you'll start to learn that the stable profits are what is going to make you win, and not you trying to gamble on the next meme coin or the next 100x. Because at a point where you start to get rugged multiple times and you're just wasting your $150 or however many SOL or however many ETH or however many whatever you're going into these things, you start to realize that if you just take that same money and DCA'd into the things you've been studying this whole time, like you've seen the things, you've seen what is done well, and if you have done that, then if you had just had some patience and just DCA, you would be seeing something like stellar lumens. If you were going to be so boring as to say, you know what, people haven't been talking about stellar lumens, so it's like down, and then you just throw $100 in. That $100 then just goes up 400%. Get out of here, and then it's like easy. It's like at that point, it's just like that's when you feel like it can be that easy. But it's what makes it hard is you're battling yourself. Like you are battling your mind and your inclination and your reaction to the short-term price fluctuations. Or your reaction to someone like saying like, oh, I put in $50 and I made whatever it is. It's like, cool, bro. But like, I'm locking in. Like, I'm not going to, cool, you're in the casino. That's great. Guess what? House always wins. The house always wins. So until you step out of the casino and you realize that there could be a better way that you could actually have a little bit more of control of the table and say, you know what? I'm good. Like I'm going to have my table strategy now. I'm not going to keep getting rugged. And so you have to hold. You got to be able to hold for a little bit, and you have to know how to ignore the short-term fluctuations. You also have to know that there are certain points of profit taking that are going to give you the 10x, the 15x, but it's when you're taking profits on the way up. So percentage sales is basically where you are selling percentages at a certain point where your portfolio has gone up. Say your portfolio has just now done a 3x. Say you invested $5,000 into the crypto space and now you just 3x'd your portfolio. And let's do some math real quick. Let's do some quick math. Where's my calculator? Where's it at? So, I mean, like 5,000 times 3, $15,000. You put 5, and then you shave off a little bit. So you got 6,000, and your portfolio just 5x'd. Total of what you have. You just made you're up. You have $30,000 now, and now you could say, all right, I'm going to shave off like I'm going to shave off 6,000 because you invested 6,000 and now you're up $30,000. And so, I mean, why not take you could take 20K out or 10K out. You got 10K left to speculate. You could lose the 10K. The 10K could go to zero, but you took your profits because you set a rule. You were like, all right, I just 5x my money. I just 3x my money, whatever I did, 3, 5, 10x, whatever it is. Our trade said, put all on Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, as you say, just max long Doge. But yeah, I think, so if you're not familiar with what DCAing is, every time I say DCAing, like I expect people to know what I'm talking about, but not everyone, because I first I had to learn all these things. I had to learn all these terms and like, what the heck is, what does this mean? It's dollar cost averaging. So it's all depends on what your amount is. Like say you have $100 left over. You have $100 left over in the month. Then maybe you're going to take that $100 at the end of the month and you're going to split it up into your portfolio. Whatever it is. If it's Bitcoin and ETH and some meme coins, or if it's Solana and some meme coins, you're going to take $25 and you're just going to. And then Biz Knowledge says, I've made more money by never taking initials. And so yeah, that could be your strategy. That could be your strategy. But I feel like a good balanced portfolio that could be just taking some of the risk off. That just means maybe the coins that you had and that you picked for your coins happen to give you that nice, like solid, like return from being able to just hold. But I think to take a little bit of the risk off, because it's not guaranteed that you're going to it's just going to like, now at 10x, okay, now it's going to 15x. I mean, that could be it. And then you take your initials out and potential that the thing that you just took your initial out could absolutely go to zero. There is no guarantee that just because the thing pumped up, it's going to do then another pump. That could be it. And so it's just like it, and it is the moon bag. Some people say screw the moon bag, but it's just part of a risk management strategy, and it's going to be different for everyone. But that's DCA, dollar cost averaging. You're going to just set an amount, whatever it may be, and you're just going to buy. You don't care what the price is, you just buy. And then over time, you kind of stop. You're like, okay, I've put some size in here. I don't have any more dry capital left unless you have an infinite bag of money. You got, bags of money buried in the backyard. Go dig them out and put them in the market. Then you probably got a couple $100 in the month left over. So you just, then you do that. And then once you start to hit, like I said, these numbers, then you could DCA out. Similar to dollar cost averaging, but with selling small amounts regularly during the bull runs. Because you're not going to time it perfectly. You're not going to time the market. You're not going to get the exact top. You're not going to buy the exact bottom. You're not going to sell the exact top. But DCAing in and DCAing out eliminates the headache of thinking that you're going to be a genius trader and time it perfectly all the time. So what I'm talking about pulling out on the initials is that you're pulling out to something more stable. So all of these altcoins that I mentioned, say you buy Illuvium and you're up 10x on Illuvium. What are you going to rotate it into once you take profits? It's going to be stable. It's probably going to be a good portion of it will be in a stable coin, but then it might be back into whatever the chain is. And then for some people could be like, all right, I want to take profits back into Solana or take profits back into ETH and take profits into Bitcoin. Because these might be things that people want to hold actually long term through the inevitable bear market that will come. Yeah, so because if you believe in crypto being like really like a 40 trillion like market cap valuations for the entire space, then it would be worth holding Cardano or AVAX or XRP or Solana for for the next 10 years. Like, imagine you have the patience. Imagine you have the balls. Imagine you have the diamond hands to be holding bags of crypto for the next 10 years. And you had already made millions because you were able to cash out and DCA a little bit, but you held some and you've just been consistently holding it for the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, that could do some serious damage. I mean, you got to think about that as your retirement. That's your retirement. That's like how you build generational wealth. Like, the people that were able to hold Bitcoin through these past 13, 14 years of its inception and were able to even just hold a few, look at how much it has changed their lives. I mean, it's substantial. So Satoshi Nakamoto himself says bigger risk. Yeah, high risk, high reward. It's like the people that really believe in Cardano, if they hold long enough, those people could see their $10 Cardano. And if they had been holding for a measly 5 to 10 years, buying Cardano at 40 cents, do you realize how much money that is? In 10 years, if you had been DCAing into Cardano, that's how you can retire early, like truly retire early. Like, not when you're 65, not like, the retire when you're 65 and collect Social Security and then, then go work at the grocery store packing groceries. It's like that. You have just still fast-tracked yourself by even still waiting 10 years. That's what's hilarious. It's like, we're so impatient. We're so impatient. We're like, we want to be millionaires right the F right now. Like, I want to put $100 in Chill Guy and I want to be a millionaire tomorrow. But you're not willing to put in the work. Like, you're not willing to put in the work. If you're that person that wants to put in $100 and be a millionaire tomorrow, you ain't going to make it. I'm sorry. Yes, people make a nice a nice little pie getting lucky on getting into a meme coin early and then flipping $100 for however much. That's fine. But I'm wanting to really test my patience, because that's what actually wins the game, is patience. Patience and a long-term outlook strategy. And I think that's exactly what Michael Saylor has. I think that's what these institutions have. They're playing the long game. And this is what you have to do. You got to play the long game. Oh. My tabs are crashing. Oh, my tabs are crashing. All right, so how many votes did we get on? Okay, so let's see who's winning. Okay, Soul's winning. We had 37 votes on the poll. Which one do you think is going to do more gains from now till the end of this cycle? And everyone is saying that Solana is going to outperform everything in this cycle. Oh, so Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin's pumping. We got it back up 96,000. That's amazing. All right, so we bounced really nice, guys. All right, so what I was actually seeing on Bitcoin, if we go back to the Bitcoin analysis here, on the Bitstamp chart, we saw something playing out here. We actually see on the 45-minute a inverse head and shoulders. And you can kind of see it here, how the last time we did that, we traded sideways off the right shoulder, but then started to go back up on the curve. Now, look at this pattern. And now look at this one. It's doing the same thing. It's going to trade up to the neckline. Once it hits the neckline, that's the resistance. If it can break the resistance, then we're going to shoot past 100K really fast. If it hits resistance, we're going to go sideways and do the extended shoulder like we just did here and then break new all-time highs. So here you go. Here's the best TA that I can give you. Don't listen to anyone else. This is exactly what it's going to do. This is exactly what it's going to do, guys, because I just marked it. I saw it, pattern recognition. I said, oh, let's go, baby. We're getting the bounce. So bounce to the neckline. If you were thinking of if you're a betting man and a trading man, then your take profit would be at 99,000 off a swing long right here, a scalp long. If we can break this, because that's some resistance right there, we got some nice green momentum candles coming in, and it looks like, is that our money? No, that's we had an RSI. I thought it was our money flow, but yeah, that's it's looking good. Bitcoin's looking good. What's happening with Bitcoin right now? See how the trades are looking. Trades are looking good. On this Bitcoin trade, we have now realized over $1,000 in profits on the Bitcoin trade. We've realized about 400 on our Phantom trade. We're going to be scalping these pretty soon here. We're going to see a massive breakout on Pepe, and we're just waiting on that breakout because the breakout could be it could just melt some faces. I think Pepe is probably going to go up 150 to 200% here in the next couple the next couple days. I think this thing is going to just fly any moment now. And so we are just ready for the trade. We're ready for the trade. I don't know if you see it here, we're in a giant bull flag that's about to just break out to the upside. And our target right now on the bull flag is for a 1,000 leveraged Pepe price at 0.02. So we're gonna be nicely in profit. We're gonna be nicely in profit. Let's just say that. We got the Floki trade open. Floki could break out, I think, at any moment because it is currently doing a very similar pattern here on a descending wedge, basically about to break out. And so with the strength of Ethereum coming back, and we're seeing some of the dominance flip playing out as we speak, our TA is being validated and the institutions are validating our bags. And if you've been positioned in the market and you're taking advantage of this, you'd be making money. Now's the time to not be thinking about shorting and when's the top and when's the this, because like I said, guys, we are in the best time right now. We're not even close to being over with this bull run. We have 300 days left, guys. We have 300 days left. We have still 4 to 5 months to go. We have so much higher to go. So the work here is not done. The work here is not done. It's never done. Okay. All right, guys. With that being said, we really appreciate you coming into these live streams lately and just on a daily basis. Just want to remind you guys that tonight we will be live streaming at 10 o'clock. It's going to be kind of a late stream. We're going to stream at 10 o'clock, and we're going to stream for an hour. We're going to stream from 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're working a gig, so we're not going to be able to stream at our normal 8 o'clock time. And we were going to stream when we worked a gig last night, and we were thinking about streaming, but we were freaking tired, man. So we're going to keep the energy going. We're going to actually, when we get home, we're going to get ready, and we're going to stream at 10 o'clock from 10 to 11 o'clock, and we're going to have some fun. And so we hope to see you guys on that live stream later tonight, or whatever time zone you're watching. You might be actually watching it in the morning time, wherever you are. And we just want to thank you guys again for coming in and supporting these live streams and supporting this channel. If you want to be a part of the Dojo crew or be a part or a member of the channel, there's opportunities for you guys to do so. So you could subscribe to the channel. You can also be a member of the channel, and you get a nice fancy Pepe emblem. You can see here Satoshi Nakamoto, him or herself, has the Pepe logo. So if you want to have a cool green username and the Pepe logo, and also we're going to be doing some members only live streams once we get a big nice group of people that are members, and doing dedicated videos straight to you guys. And you can also just join the Discord. This is where you're going to get all your updates from the Dojo crew themselves, and you can come in here and train. You can show me what you've been working on. You can show me your best trade screenshots. We got Crypto Naughty posting his gains. We got MFRX9 in here showing us some TA, and you can also go into the shill zone and show me what you have been looking at, and just also get the gas prices, get the Bitcoin prices, and just a little update here, a little network you guys can join into. And all I ask is that before you guys leave, you hit the like button, and then when we end the stream, you go into this stream's comment section and you leave your comments and say what you're bullish on, what you liked about the stream, and what coins and things you would like to see me talk about on this live stream, and anything and suggestions that you would like to see me do on this channel, because we would love to hear your feedback, and we'd love to keep building this brand in this live stream, in this show, and just bring you guys the best content possible in this space, and something that you guys can look forward to on a weekly basis, because I know how I felt coming into this space and looking for something that I could look forward to and watch, and to kind of get a little bit of a perspective from different people on this market. And one of them being Ivan on Tech, and BitBoy, and Cryptos R Us, and Journey Crypto, and all these people, Carl from the Moon, and Da Vinci, and Miss Teen Crypto, like all these people, I followed back when I started getting into crypto, 2021. I now am continuing the guard of being a channel that someone that was just like me coming in and then can enjoy a crypto live stream. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming in. God bless you and your families. Happy holidays. I know Thanksgiving's coming up. Thanksgiving's like tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Is it today or is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. So I got some prepping to do. We're going to make a nice meal, and I hope you get a chance to hang with your families and get some family time in. And, if it's a sad time for you, I'm praying for you that Jesus will be with you, and you always have someone by your side. I hope that you can find some joy. But if there's all else, just want to hope you guys have a safe and joyful holiday season going into Thanksgiving and also into Christmas. And we're going to keep you updated all through the season. So we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.